Hey everybody, Liquid Maverick back again. I wanted to, so I got the, as I've mentioned in prior videos, I got the full size 96% GMMK2. I cannot talk today. It is Monday, so I'm having one of those days. A couple things I wanted to do today. I've replaced, now I only have a limited set of the Glorious Pandas. However, I have replaced all the letter keys, space, backspace, enter, and left shift with the Glorious Pandas. I wanted to give you a little typing test because there is a noticeably different audio profile when you're on a more tactile switch versus the Red Foxes. I've noticed the Foxes are a little more quiet. Alright, so this is Glorious Pandas, space, and all the letter keys, space, enter, backspace, and shift. Alright. First observation I'm going to state. This is actually kind of genius, in my opinion. So the stabs, no rattle, and they haven't had any rattle, especially with the Red Fox linears. So there's a bit of a nuanced approach here. Sorry, I'm doing hand gestures that you can't see up here. With the Red Fox linears, the stabilizers feel good. They don't have the rattle. When I've replaced them with these, if you'll notice, there's a couple, they're a little muted. It's almost as if they're ever so slightly mushy. So if it was up to me, I would qualify this as a slight, just slightly over lubricated. But that's almost genius, because if you want to pull this out, put it on your desk and go, you can. The stabs sound good. The switches sound great. If you want to modify, so again, this comes with plate-mounted stabs, which work totally fine, especially if you're brand new to the mechanical keyboard game. But if you are going to modify and update and tweak and all that kind of such, likely you're going to replace those PCB-mounted stabs with plate-mounted stab. So it's one of those where if you're brand new, they're going to work great from box. If you're new to it, you're likely going to modify and you're probably going to put on some PCB-mounted stabs. So either way, it's going to be, in my opinion, an absolute win. Now, what I wanted to actually get done today, so this is going to take some time. I wanted to potentially get a disassembly done. So much of this will be time-lapsed, but I figure we can go through and take this thing apart, see what the innards look like. Got them all. So now we have our GMMK2 disassembled. Now, at least not fully disassembled, but keycap and switchless. Let's get into it. Alright, now it's hard to see probably because it's so friggin' dark in my basement, but we have screws 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think that's all of them. It's a lot of screws. I'm looking for a container so I can throw these in it. I'm gonna just borrow one of my switch containers. I never said I was an organized person. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's the moment. It's the moment we're waiting for. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Alright, it's hard to see. Oh boy. There is a... looks like a daughter PCB. Oh, shoot. Alright, remember how those go back on. Goes back on like this. Stands, okay. Oh, the thing in the back. So we have, I know this is not a great angle. Daughter PCB down here. Hang on. Mike's gotta move. Looks like it's got a little tape over top. Here we go. Here we go. Hard to see. Hard to see, but there's a little piece of tape. And here we have our connector. It looks a lot like the Pro connector. There we go. Here's the bottom of the PCB. Trying to see what it feels. It's still kind of secured. And what is securing it? There's an anchor point somewhere. Okay. I'm seeing little, they're hard to see, these little black pieces of tape. I'm wondering if there's some screws hiding under there. Okay. So it looks like the PCB is mounted to the top plate, and it's hiding under these little pieces of black tape are keeping it hidden. So I saw there's the one there. There's another piece of black tape here. It looks like there's 3. So let me get these off. Give me a second. Okay. Now, let's see what we got. There's one more. Oop, I missed it. Right here, one more piece of tape. My mistake. 4 screws. Screw here. And just to give you a reference point. Okay. Space bar down here. Function row up here. Screw here, 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 and here. So that's, if you want to take this thing apart, you have 4 screws that you got to get off. Okay, that's it. Here we go. Off it comes. Here's our PCB. So it looks pretty standard. I'm going to work to invert the image, make it a lot easier for me. Traces are really clean, actually. I don't know if you can see them. You see these? It almost looks like, you know, when you wash a car too many times. Those are actually your traces. You can actually see them running. It's very clean lines. Let me see if I can get up here. Get the focus to come, but yeah, all those little streaks you see, it is a crappy webcam, so that's part of it, but it's also the trace lines. They're very pretty. I mean, not something you're going to see on a regular basis. You're going to have this thing all locked up, but nice clean trace lines here, here, here. And then you can see here, you can actually see your holes for your PCB mount available stabs. Here, here. You can see all the appropriate holes for all your PCB mounted stabs. So, even though it comes, and I didn't obviously take off mine, and the reason, again, I'd mentioned I didn't take mine off is because I do not have replacement stabs for it at the moment. Here's inside. We have, well, it's actually not secured. Look at that. A nice foam pad here. It actually feels really nice. It's really well done. It's not like stuck. I actually really don't like it when there's a stuck pad on these and you have to kind of like tear it off. Nothing else really of note here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back together. Very clean, very well done. I really appreciate the traces. That's really nice. I'm going to bring this back. It is very secured. I'm going to put these back together and then we're going to inspect the bottom. As I pop the mic. So here's our base. Let's pull this up. All right. It's pretty nice in here. You got a nice little, it says GMMK. Let's see if I can get the light to go. You have a GMMK 96 in the case. See, I wonder what's under this. There is a pad here. There's a. Oh, you know what? This looks like. Huh. That's fascinating. What is this? Oh, I see. You know what I'm not recognizing? Okay. So that top case. It's clever. This top case. This is metal. That's a metal top case. But what it looks like is the bottom is this plastic? Yeah, I believe the bottom is plastic, and what it has here, this is a weighted bar, a metal weighted bar that is in the bottom. And I believe that looks like there's some foam. Maybe let's pull it off. Let's see what we got. Okay. It looks like there's just additional, oops, I'm going to bop the mic again. So a metal bar. Just the metal bar up here, and then it looks like there's some additional sound dampening just built in to help with acoustics. That's clever. It's a very clever idea. All right. It is time, because we've seen all the innards. So we're going to start a little reassembly, and I believe what I'm going to do, I started with a typing test. I am probably going to tape mod. I love how I have all these hand gestures that happen right out here. Can you see all this? Here we go. I'm going to put this back together. I'm going to tape mod the PCB, and then we're going to do a little sound test. Okay, let's try it again. Alright, let's see. Make sure I didn't break it. We got light. Still works. Okay. Finish reassembly. Okay. My goodness. Well, that was an endeavor. So I think the last piece is a type test with the tape mod. We know we went through some work to get the tape mod to function. Warning to all those tape mod enthusiasts, you can do it. It just requires some extra steps. Alright, I'm going to move the mic. Now we're going to do one more typing test. This is tape modded, same layout, so glorious pandas on the letter keys, enter, backspace, shift, and space. Then we're just going to see, let me get to a screen I want to be on. Here we go. I think I'll sum back up. We experienced, we got to open it up, we got to see the foam pad, we got to see that the bottom is actually a plastic plate with 2 metal weights built into it along with the daughter board for the USB. Love the daughter board. That's also the way the Pro works. If you're gonna, and I think as I mentioned, if you're going to open this up and make your modifications, a couple things. Tape mod, as we noticed, huge challenge, monster challenge. So just be aware of that. It's not insurmountable. You saw me, I actually got it done. The second aspect is because we noticed that it is a metal weight and the bottom is actually plastic. Be aware of what you want to do. Open it up and do it that time. Before putting it back together, make sure it all works, because I think you're going to have a finite amount of time you can unscrew and rescrew into that bottom chassis before you might start running into stripping screw issues. So just be aware of that. That's the first real thing that I found fascinating. Outside of that, I think, again, I mentioned with tactile switches, if you're not taking this thing apart, stabs are going to be great, really quiet. If you are taking this apart, the stabs, I think, are slightly over-lubed, not in a way that makes anything stick, but it feels a little softer. But if you're taking it apart anyway, you're likely going to be replacing with PCB mount stabs. So I think it's a really smart call on that regard. But again, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.